Radio.
The biggest hits.
Yes. The biggest throwbacks.
This is
Hits Radio.
the biggest hits
The biggest throwbacks.
on Hits Radio.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
Hits Radio. Money, meow.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
This is
Hits Radio.
the biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
This is
Hits Radio.
One love is all we need. What's good, y'all? I'm Post Malone. Hey, it's Morgan Wallen.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
Hits Radio.
You better throw a party on the day that I die.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
This is
Hits Radio.
Hits Radio.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
What's your move?
Call me back. Call me back. Call me back when you get this, okay? I love you and I miss you so much. Okay, bye.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
Hits Radio. Hits Radio.
I represent
The biggest hits
the biggest throwbacks.
on Hits Radio. Hits Radio.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks.
Hits Radio.
Hits Radio.
850 IM.
The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks. Hit it.
This is Hits Radio.
I know that. Hits Radio. Even after all this time. The biggest hits.
The biggest throwbacks. Hey, this is Rita Ora.
Hits Radio.
I got Hits Radio. This is Hits Radio.
The biggest hits. The biggest throwbacks. That's me.
There's heaps of other great shows as well.
So make sure you join us.
Big fun time.
Weekdays at 4 on